We appreciate you joining us today here on America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys Formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker, Scott Kirshner, and Chaz Price. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. AmericasRetirementHeadquarters.com is the website. Or if you prefer, the shorter, ARHQ.com. Also get you there. And again, the number 419-794-3030. Guys, let's do a little bit of a weird, this date in history, I guess. This week in 1874, Samuel Francis was granted a patent for his invention, the spork, which, if somebody out there doesn't know what that is, it's the spoon and fork thing. If you go get fried chicken, that's the utensil they give you, the one, instead of giving you, individual ones. Let's talk about how that is a hybrid. And would you advise a client to have some sort of hybrid account set up, or is it best to have all their funds in one account?
Well, for many of you that have been listening, you may know this is Nolan, that I have been very active with my kids in the Boy Scouts of America. So, from down in Florida, living on deserted islands, to hiking and summiting mountains in New Mexico, I value the spork very much.
Exactly.
Because in your backpack, you carry whatever you can. And then when we were rowing 5.5 miles out to this deserted island, you get a very small bag that you get to pack for the week, and it's whatever you can fit in there. So having some of these tools that make life a little bit easier can really add some value. And if we think about it, I think most investors are used to what I would refer to as the traditional approach when it comes to investing, which really is like stocks and bonds. And, for those of you, if you're looking for somewhat of a hybrid approach, we're going to give you a couple of great examples that you can use and look at your situation. But more importantly, your takeaway from this is let's stress test your plan. So for the first 5 people that call us, what we can do is we can take your current analysis and put it in the software and then show you, if you added in some of these hybrids, how it could possibly increase the potential return, reduce the risk, or get you more benefits that you don't currently have. So if you call up, just ask to get the plan stress test, and we would show you what those hybrid investments look like. But the first one that I want to talk about is something that I have been using for a long time. One of the biggest issues that we have for people that are close to or in retirement time is having their life savings wiped out in the event that they need long-term medical care. And for anybody who's looked at it, it's like one of those put your head in the sand. You don't want to look at it. It's not a fun conversation to have. I have guys all the time that'll tell me, hey, I'm just going to go and have somebody take me behind the shed and, take care of me. I'm not going to deal with long-term care. But the reality is that's not how life always plays out. I know in a Christian family that I live in, my wife is going to be a caregiver in that situation. So I think about, how do I make life a little bit easier? So if you want to learn about a solution to protect your assets without ever buying traditional long-term care insurance, what you want to find out about is called the Life Leverage Plan. This is a hybrid investment, and what it does is it takes and it combines a couple of unique benefits. So first and foremost, you can set up the policy and have protections against loss in the market. So if and when the market ever goes down, you can't lose money. You also have the ability where it's 100% liquid, meaning that you can leave anytime with all of your money and all of your interest. Secondarily, if you never need the money back and you pass away, if you name a beneficiary, it can be paid off in the form of life insurance. So you could even make 50% more or double the amount of your deposit, which is instantaneously available. And so if you think about it, if I had some lazy assets sitting in the bank and say I had $100,000 sitting at the bank, now I know bank rates have gotten a little bit better this year because we talk all about some options there. But even with today's rates, how long would it take $100,000 to double to be worth $200,000? Well, with this hybrid investment, this life leverage plan, once somebody has it approved and put in place, it's available instantaneously for their beneficiaries. Then number 3, the reason they get this plan is because of the fact that it offers that long-term care benefit.
Right. Yep.
So whether they have a critical, chronic, terminal illness benefit, they have an ability to accelerate some of their benefits ahead of time. So that is one option that I like. I know there's a couple other ones, or if you guys have some feedback on, other hedging strategies, but a life leverage plan can be a great way to protect your assets without ever buying traditional long-term care insurance.
Yeah, one thing I want to add to that, Nolan, is, Medicare does not cover long-term care. So if you're thinking, well, I don't really need that because I've got Medicare, that's not going to do what you need it to do. If you go into a skilled nursing facility, which typically is in a long-term care facility, a nursing home, if you don't show signs of improvement, they boot you out, unless you have a long-term care plan in place, and then you could actually, go in as an actual resident. But Medicare does not cover long-term care.
Yeah, I think it's important too to note that in this financial world we have a limited amount of resources and there's an unlimited amount of demands on those dollars, and so anytime you can use $1 to leverage multiple events like longevity, like a passing of a spouse. Using that same dollar to accomplish a lot of different goals, I think, is huge, and that's one of the ways you can get ahead of this retirement. Just getting prepared for retirement is having multiple types of accounts like this.
Yeah, it's really what we refer to as leveraging, so combining multiple benefits to get them together. Another one that I think about is I had this gentleman who came in about a week or so ago, and he's retired. And unfortunately, he has Parkinson's. And so, we know, if, seeing it from Michael J. Fox to, other people, that there's no real cure for that. And over time, it's going to slow people down. So, like, the life leverage plan may not be an option in his situation. But in his situation, what we did is we looked at a hybrid investment, which we utilized a fixed index annuity that included long-term care benefits. Because if we look at it, he could have Parkinson's for a long time. It may not be a long time down the road until he needs that. So it was able to accomplish a couple different things. First of all, he has an insurance product that is able to protect him against loss in the stock market. He has a product that allows him to participate if and when the market recovers, and be able to draw a line in the sand that says he's not going to lose money if the market continues to go down like it did in 2022. In addition to that, every year that the money's set aside, he's growing this extra bucket of money that could be used in the event that he needs long-term care. And so as we were structuring a plan, again, we were thinking about it like in my family, in a Christian family relationship, that if he needed help down the road, how do we get a policy that includes long-term benefits to provide benefits for him around the house, to help his wife make life a little easier, to help them maintain control and independence. And so that's some great solutions that can provide alternatives to what are the traditional roller coaster ride. It's also hybrids to help people get some of the health benefits. It's, again, why the comprehensive approach of America's Retirement Headquarters looks at it and combines it together. I also would say, in addition to that, if you're an investor in the market, there is some incredible strategies that we work with. One of our strategies called protected equities. What we do is we look for a way that allows an investor to have a capped return in the market, but is able to offset a big percentage of the downturn in the market over a set period of time using some strategies that can help protect them. So it's a way to kind of bring in some of those guardrails so you're not just out there riding the roller coaster of the stock market saying, whatever happens, happens. That can be a strategy. And the last one is called protected equities. Protected equities allows an investor to participate when the market goes up, but also through an active management approach would allow us to put some losses to an investor if and when the market goes down, again, hedging that bet a little bit. So the bottom line here is if you feel like you're kind of riding the roller coaster ride, if you feel like you don't know, what your solution is to protect your assets from long-term care, and you want to find out what a hybrid investment is, let us do a portfolio analysis, and we can take a look and we can show you where some of the strengths and possible weaknesses are in your portfolio. We can share some of our years of experience to help you talk about what a hybrid investment is. And in fact, for the first 5 callers that call in from the show, we'd be happy to provide you a printout that shows you that independent portfolio analysis with our advice and feedback.
So you can take advantage of this offer. Be one of the first 5 callers right now, 419-794-3030. See what the options are for you when it comes to using these hybrid investments. 419-794-3030. Just be one of the first 5 callers.